Welcome to another episode of the Tech Drive Show, where we dive deep into innovative technology that is transforming the future of work, from blockchain to robotics to artificial intelligence, agri-tech, cybersecurity, education. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about a very important topic, the future of work, how to position in the future of work, what we need to know, how to go about it, and how the companies prepare their workforce for the future of work. And to address this topic, we have an important guest on the show, which I will introduce after our short break. I am your host, Opeyemi Salako, and this is Universal Television Africa. When we're back on the show, we'll get into the matters of today. Sit back and relax. Blockchain, robotics, artificial intelligence, agri-tech, cybersecurity education is changing the world, and you don't want to miss out. Welcome to the Tech Drive Show, where we explore innovation shaping tomorrow's world and groundbreaking technology. My name is Opeyemi Salako on Universal Television Africa. Do well to follow us on all our social media handles and join the innovative conversation for the future of work. Welcome back to the Tech Drive Show. Thank you for joining us in today's episode. In today's episode, we'll be talking about the future of work, what you need to know, and how you need to position for the future of work. To address this topic, we have a very important guest to address the topics that we have today, and I'm sure that you're going to enjoy today's show. We have in the studio today the person of Mr. Emmanuel Ayo, who is the co-founder of Dark Robotics, an innovative tech company that dips down into research and innovation in Abuja, Nigeria. Welcome to the show, Mr. Emmanuel. How are you doing today?
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's my pleasure to meet you and have you on my show today. How are you doing? How have you been?
I've been fine. I've been all right.
All right, good. So basically, we are looking at the future of work. We know that the trend is tech around the world, agri-tech. We have different aspects of tech today. So basically, it is very important that we talk about the future of work and how do we remain relevant in the future of work, how the workforce, how the companies prepare their workforce to be relevant in the future of work. So what do you have to say about the future of work?
Okay, so the future of work is very bright, in my opinion. But the future has to be streamlined towards technology. And you see a lot of trends coming up regarding AI, artificial intelligence, automation, robotics, and then you now have something called quantum computing. So let me start with artificial intelligence. So as we all know artificial intelligence basically is programming a code, giving it the process to learn, and over time it's going to learn by itself. An example of artificial intelligence we have currently now is ChatGPT. I believe almost all of us.
Yeah, everybody knows ChatGPT. Everybody's learning it for their assignments now.
Exactly. So, but you see, some people usually say that okay, artificial intelligence is going to take over. Is going to take over people's jobs. They actually have a point, but at the same time, AI was not built to replace humans. It was built to be kind of like our companion, our aids.
Yeah, to make work more flexible.
Exactly. So that's for artificial intelligence. But you see, recently now they've been having regulations and policies to kind of limit the way artificial intelligence is being used. Exactly. Then we now have automation. Automation basically means that you have a code or you have a platform, then you want to have as minimal human input and effort towards that platform. One of the most trending ones currently is smart cities or smart homes.
Smart homes.
Exactly. So I think I watched a video some years back on smart homes. Basically, this is how the video went. The man entered into the house, and the house or the voice, kind of like Google Assistant or Siri, welcomed him into the home. Exactly. Welcoming him to the home. As he entered into the house, the lights switched on, the TV switched on.
The sensor.
Sensor. So you can see the automation now is you see a common trend with all these things is that they're trying to make human life easier, more simpler, with as minimal human input as possible or limited human input as possible. Then we now have quantum computing. I believe some people are not really familiar with the term, but quantum computing basically, okay, let me ask you a question. You've used the computer before, right?
Sure.
Like when you used it, did you feel like it was fast?
Yeah, so I think you have a better internet.
Okay, so now we have quantum computing. Now imagine your computer but 5,000 times faster. That's basically what quantum computing is. Your classic computer makes use of ones and zeros.
Well,
Quantum computers now have ones, zeros, and then a combination of ones and zeros. That's what basically gives it the power to be very, very fast.
oh, impressive.
Now, if you see the quantum computer combining with AI now, you see that
That's going to be massive.
is a massive power. So that's why you see now that we have to come up with policies and regulations to limit the amount of use, or a case whereby AI wants to take over. I believe a lot of people have heard it. You have to have like a shutdown button.
Yeah.
I heard that they're planning something like that also. Then the most important thing is that technology is meant to help humans. The most important thing. I think Meta released a translator, a real-time translator recently, just recently. So those are the three most important tech trends that I believe are available currently.
Well, impressive. So, looking from that angle, you talked about quantum computing. You also touched on artificial intelligence and how it's to make work more effective. Now, the matter is we have great innovation here. We have great technology, but not everyone is aware about this technology. Not everyone is prepared for the use of or how to use this technology or how to position themselves for the future of work. So, where do we get started from in terms of the future of work? Those who are already in the job market, who are already in the workforce, how do we transition into the future of work?
Okay, so the most important thing is skills. To have a skill set, but not just any skill sets, just your basic skill set, a skill set that is geared towards technology.
Okay.
That's the most important thing. In order to remain relevant for the future of work, you have to be able to incorporate tech into everyday life.
Everyday life.
Everyday life, but you just don't have to limit yourself to tech. If you see a problem, you can find a solution to it. Once you find a solution to it, find a way to implement technology into it. And from there, you can now decide, okay, now that I have a solution, let me find a way to monetize it. Definitely in the beginning, it's not going to be easy.
Sure.
You might fail countless times. I'm speaking from experience, but you have to remain consistent and move forward with it. So that's the aspect of it. Another thing you will notice is that we have emerging technology also in the case that where you have a normal niche or a regular niche, you combine technology into it, like agricultural technology, financial technology, then healthcare or biotech. So I believe that in order to remain relevant and to prepare yourself for the future of work, just the most important thing, combine tech, but not just the regular tech you're saying. Find a way to advance it and move forward with it.
Yeah, combining tech makes a lot of sense. That's, in this space we have what the people we call the Gen Z, and we have the millennial. We have those who are acquainted with tech, and we also have people who barely do not know anything about tech. So basically, if we're looking at adding technology to what we're doing to make it more effective, so basically we cannot push away those who are in the job market. Then we have to we have to integrate them into adopting technology. So how do we go about it? Let's take a scenario of a company, and then you want to educate them. So what do you expect companies to do to prepare their staff, their workforce for the future of work?
Okay, so number one power is knowledge. Humans, we never stop learning. Every day is a constant learning journey.
Yeah, we keep learning every day.
Exactly. So even if you're already in the tech space, or you're coming into the tech space, one thing that both everybody should have in common is that you have to keep improving, keep advancing. Don't just be comfortable with just, okay, I know how to code, I know how to program. It's fine. A lot of people know how to code, a lot of people know how to program. What now separates you from the original market? I think there's imagine thing like remote jobs. You can see that in the 2020 pandemic, there was a rise in remote work. A lot of people came into remote work. So now the remote work market is kind of saturated. A lot of people are there. So what now separates you from them? That's what you have to actually focus on. You have to keep improving every day, because if you're good at something, I guarantee you someone else can do it better than you.
Oh, good.
So that's just it.
So now, if talking about we have to keep improving ourselves, then the question I would like to ask you, Mr. Emmanuel, would be that what are the skill sets we need to look into to prepare ourselves for the future of work? What should we look into?
Okay, like I said, technology.
Yeah, what aspect of technology?
Okay, for me, I would say robotics, AI. and automation, like I mentioned. Those are the key ones that are really coming up, not just because it's a fancy word or anything, because they're actually helping us. Everyday life. You see now, in a factory, you're limiting the amount of humans you have to have into them, limiting the casualties in factories by having robots inside there.
Okay.
Now, moving forward in healthcare and technology, you have doctors now that performing surgeries at a minute scale
How's
with
that
robots.
possible?
There's a new, I think I saw it a few days ago. There was a doctor, he will perform the surgery, but he was not in the room. It was virtual
Virtual
surgery.
Is that possible?
It's very possible.
Unimaginable.
Very, very possible. But we're still at the early stages. So if you're looking at entering into tech now, you can enter into it, but then think ahead, not just where we are now. Think into the future. What is possible? How can we reach that? And I promise you, it's going to be very, very achievable.
But why of all? So why robotics? Why artificial intelligence? Why? Because I know there are different aspects of tech field that we can look into. Why you streamline into? Why do you advise us to look into artificial intelligence and robotics?
Okay. So moving forward now, we want to find a way whereby we can collaborate with AI, not just in a case where AI will do everything for us, but in a case where we can collaborate together. Probably AI is going to be our assistant. Then robotics now is a more advanced, not really advanced, but it works in line with technology. Whereby you see in a situation whereby a military veteran, he has lost his hand now.
Okay.
He cannot make use of his hand, probably only his right hand. You can implement robotics now.
He's lost hands.
Yes, so it's kind of like a way to just future-proof the human self, human consciousness, human knowledge. So that's just it.
Oh, right, all right. Thank you so much for the impressive insight you shared into this question. So my question will be, what is the role of the government to advancing and preparing the youth and the workforce for the future of work?
Okay, before I answer that question, I want to just give you a quick background of myself. I was first introduced to technology at a very young age in Switzerland. Then, moving forward, I advanced in robotics and my technical knowledge in the US. But one thing that you have to take note of is that all my knowledge I gained then, it was not from extracurricular activities.
Okay.
They were implemented into the curriculum of the school.
Of the school.
So the government they want to do right, they want to do well. But I don't just think they know how to
go about
it. Let me tell you another story. There's what we call the 4 Asian tigers. It consists of Taiwan, Hong Kong, South Korea, and Singapore. One thing you notice, the reason they got the name the 4 Asian tigers was the rapid development in technology, and the main thing that they focused on was industrialization and education. I think Nigeria can take, or Africa as a whole can take a note from them. We see education as kind of a trivial thing, but we respect education the most. But we also see it as something
that is trivial. No, we don't attach too much importance to it.
So the thing now is that the curriculum that are currently in schools, they're very outdated. Very, very outdated. One of my close friends, the first time he got a laptop, he did not know how to use it.
Oh, at what age?
I think that time he was probably 17. Oh, he did not know how to use it. I mean, I've been using laptops since I could walk. I've been using technology.
I see.
So the government has to know that education is the most important things. Nigerians as a whole, or Africans as a whole, have to be able to have access to technology. Definitely there are infrastructures like facilities that you can go to and innovate, but they're not active. They've not developed anything that I can say, okay, wow, this came from Nigeria. It's very fantastic. I don't think I can point to one. But how are we going to develop it if our education is currently lacking? You understand? So I think the government, they should actually take note. Education is very important. Development of technological infrastructure is very important. So that's how I think the government can help us. Then us as startups or companies now, we can aid in the mentoring of the next generation by providing our services in schools, helping them foster the creativity. towards technology. Me, when I was very young, I like probably just breaking apart toys and building them together.
Right.
Exactly.
So it's like, just I like to say, they just I think this guy will be in the science class.
Exactly. Exactly. So at that young age, they saw me. They were like, "Ah, this guy, you like creating. Implement technology into this thing." That's how I got interested into technology. It really helps, especially at a young age. But even as you're old, as people are old now, it doesn't mean that you cannot learn or you cannot advance into technology. Everybody, that friend that I'm telling you about, he could not use a laptop. I promise you now, he's a software engineer. He's a software engineer. So that's just it.
That's fantastic. So thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. Like, well, we have to go on a short break, and when we're back, we go deeper into the discussion of today, because you were mentioning your experience in Switzerland and US, and I would like to look at our weekend and that's what you think is very crucial at this point. So we are going on a short break. We've discussed about basic skill that the workforce need to look into to prepare for the future of work, and how the government and private sector need to work hand in hand to promote technology education and industrialization in Nigeria and Africa as a whole. I am Opeyemi, Salako, and this is Universal Television Africa. We'll be right back.
In a world where challenges persist, we seek solutions for a sustainable tomorrow. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, guides our path towards climate action to social justice as we build resilient communities. From embracing circular economies to reducing carbon footprint, to promoting eco-innovation, to empowering marginalized communities and ensuring inclusive governance and human rights. Through integrated approaches, we are fostering transformative change. I am Ife Onyekwere. Join me on the Development Report as we explore the intersection of sustainability on Universal Television Africa towards sustainable development.
Blockchain, robotics, artificial intelligence, agri-tech, cybersecurity education is changing the world, and you don't want to miss out. Welcome to the Tech Drive Show, where we explore innovation shaping tomorrow's world and groundbreaking technology. My name is Opeyemi Salako on Universal Television Africa. Do well to follow us on all our social media handles and join the innovative conversation for the future of work. Discuss a lot of things about the future of work. Just sit back and relax, because we still have a little bit of topic to touch on, and I believe you are going to take a lot of value from this discussion for you to prepare for the future of work, what you need to look out for, how to prepare, how to get started in tech, and how to go about it. So basically, I still have my amazing guest in the studio today, the person of Mr. Emmanuel Eyo, who is the co-founder of Dark Robotics. Mr. Emmanuel, I'm happy to still have you on the show.
Thank you.
So basically, you were talking about your experience in Switzerland and your experience in the United States, which have helped you to transition into tech from an early stage. So basically, what would you like to tell us about your experience in tech? What's actually bets the idea of your startup?
Okay. So we started Dark Robotics with my very close friends, 4 of us. We were first introduced to tech at, not introduced, but we went for our first competition in 2020. So we came in second place. So that was what really fostered us. We were like, okay, since we're moving, all of us have technical knowledge now. Let's see how we can help the country. Let's see how we can push it further. But a lot of people now, they want to come into technology. They don't have the opportunity that probably I had. But they don't need that opportunity, if I'm being very honest. You have the internet at your hands.
It's a great asset.
Okay, it's a very great asset. People usually undermine it and see it as, okay, let me just enter social media, post pictures and stuff like that. That's fine. But you have to make use of that technology that we have now, the internet. One of my friends, he told me that, Iman, how can I learn? I told him, just go on the internet. YouTube is there for you. You can learn. But he's very bad at learning virtually.
Virtually.
Some people have that same problem. But That's not to stop you. You can gain the basic knowledge online. Then if you manage to see someone that can help you move forward, no problem. But I think the preliminary stages, if you don't have access to anywhere where you can learn technology, is the internet. Everything you're looking for, anything you ever need in this life is online, virtually.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. So I know we have a couple of startups in Nigeria and even across Africa, and I believe that we're doing a lot in preparing the workforce for the future of work. Basically, we know about the revolution of the internet, the Web 1 to Web 3.0. So we see a lot of startups coming up. Now, the question is, how do this startup collaborate with the government, with private sector, existing organization to prepare the workforce in Nigeria and Africa for the future of work?
Okay. Startups, they have a lot of solutions that can help us, that can help the world. But one thing the majority of startups are lacking is funding. Capital. The government has capital. Startups have the knowledge. If the government is really, really serious about moving forward, developing technology in Nigeria and Africa, they'll engage these startups, not just as, okay, here, take the money, but they'll actually grow it from where the startups are and move it forward. Everybody is winning. Everybody is winning. So startups now, we have the knowledge, but we don't really have the capital.
Now the point is, startup have the knowledge, but they don't really have the capital. So basically, I would like to implore the Nigerian government to do more of investment in startup, in technology, because most startups do have the knowledge. The youth are taking a lot of skill set within the tech space, but they do not have the funding. The funding is not available for them to advance their skill set or to provide a solution to the general populace. So it would be a good advantage if the Nigerian government and the government across Africa can provide enough funding for the youth to harness their potential within the tech ecosystem. So Mr. Emmanuel, so please tell us how the youths can get more involved in the future of work in the tech space.
Okay, so there are currently a lot of conferences happening. You can actually attend. There are a lot of platforms where you can just search up, okay, what events are happening currently relating to technology.
Okay.
Even if you're in a remote area, you can still attend virtually.
Sure.
You can make connections online. Talk to people that have the same interests as you. Moving forward, you can gain a circle, a connection whereby you have like-minded individuals. Okay, you want to learn technology. How do I go about it? Who do I talk to? You have to ask yourself these questions. And the internet, as I said, is there for you. Even if you stay in the most remote area in this world, as long as you have internet, as long as you have people that are willing to help, and I promise you there are a lot of people that are willing to help. A lot. You can take advantage of all these things. Improve your skill sets. Number one, the one thing that makes you valuable, that makes someone valuable, is what you can provide, your skill sets. That's the most important thing. So I can't emphasize enough how having a technology,
that's the value you can offer to get money.
Exactly. So even if you're looking at, okay, I want to help Nigeria, I saw a problem. Like if you have a personal experience that has shaped you, that has made you like move towards a state where you want to help people, you can help them, but you're limited to the amount of people you help.
Yes.
You have to stop thinking small.
Think big.
Think big. Very, very huge.
What's that? Think global.
Yeah, exactly. So moving forward, don't just say, okay, I'm one person, what can I do? Never think that way. One man can change the world, and I'm not joking with you. Just one. So you have to just get out of your comfort zone. Stop being comfortable doing small things. Just try and help. And when you help, I promise you, money will come from it. It might take time, but eventually, and all you need is just one time, just that singular moment, and you can change your life, you can change the world.
So you say, we should try to help, we should try to provide solution to the people, and when in the course of you doing that, money is definitely come to you. So that is in a nutshell, you're talking about giving value to people So in the process of giving value, you are going to make money from it. Mr. Emmanuel, you've been saying a lot of things about the future of work. We talk about how the workforce can prepare for the future of work. But one thing that is crucial that I want us to address is on inclusion in tech education, because when we're talking about this, we have to consider people in the remote communities. How do they get involved so that they are not left behind in the future of work? And if we don't think about it, they might become a problem in the nearest future. So how do we tackle these challenges?
Okay, so people in remote communities, whether we know it or not, they're already engaging in technology one way or another. You see some remote people now that are into mechanics. Even one of our friends, he's also into like production of drones in a remote area. This is someone that
this is one in a million.
Yeah. So
where I'm talking about remote communities, like where they don't even have better access to internet. Like deep down communities that are the grassroots.
Okay, that's where I think the government should come in. That's something that no matter what, they have to be able to receive internet technology for them to be able to further. Nigeria and Africa, we have a lot of remote communities, but us as individuals, we can go there, provide outreach programs to those stations, but we cannot do it by ourselves. There's only we can only reach so far, but the government, they have access to everywhere. So back to the collaboration now. We can provide our services, we can teach the people in the remote areas, but we also need to be able to reach those people that don't have access to internet. Once we foster the interest in technology, I promise you they will find a way to go about it and proceed further. But that initial stage, that interest, the beginning stage is what is the most important stage for those people in the communities.
The beginning stage and how to get, so basically it's still going down to the government. So it's more like the 17 SDG goal, partnership for the goal. So the government needs to work hand in hand with tech startup, needs to work with tech innovators, and so basically, Mr. Emmanuel, how do you see Africa competing with the global world in terms of technology innovation?
Okay, in my opinion, Africa is supposed to be one of the world powers.
What power? Why do you think so?
God has blessed us with a lot of things. We have every single resource we need. Everything that you want to find, you can find it in Africa. But it's just the way we go about it that is the problem. It's just that singular place. Moving forward, we have to take education seriously, infrastructure seriously. A lot of budgets is being pumped into different locations, but if I'm being honest, we're not seeing anything.
We're not seeing the results.
We're not seeing results. That's the sad part. There's money for it. But what are we getting out of it? What is coming out of it? I cannot name one thing. Just one thing that is relating to technology that say, okay, wow, this is actually nice. Africa is developing this. Nigeria is developing this. Definitely, there are a lot of startups and everything, but those are private sectors now. Something that carries the name of the whole nation or probably Africa now. Just that singular thing to put us on the map, say, okay, wow.
This is what is coming out.
This is what is coming out from Africa.
Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. Thank you so much for your time. At this point, we'll be coming to the end of the show. You really did a lot of justice to our question, and I believe the viewers, they really enjoyed the show. And I want to say a big thank you for making our time to join us on the Tech Drive show. And I hope we're going to have you some other time, because we still want to drink from your well of knowledge. So basically, I believe from what Mr. Emmanuel have put to us, he said that Africa is supposed to be one of the world power, particularly in the strength of our youth. We have the highest youth population, particularly in Nigeria. And if the government can harness the potential and the power of the youth, I believe we are going to be in a better place and position in the map of the world, particularly in the tech ecosystem. So I want to implore the Nigerian government to do more of investment to the youth population and support startup in terms of funding and projection to the world. My name is Opeyemi Salako, and this is Universal Television Africa. Do well to follow us on all our social media, and I'll see you again on the next show.